transparent conversations, elevated exchanges. It is Wednesday night,
Hey,
so it must be a recap show live on YouTube.
hey, I hit the right button, yo. That's amazing. I hit the right button. It is Wednesday night. It is a recap show, and I am right now looking at myself live on YouTube. Welcome to Transparent Conversations, Elevated Exchanges. It's Wednesday night, so it definitely is a recap show. Tonight we'll be talking about will open relationships be normalized? I am Calvin or CBJR if you know me, or the Melancholy Guy if you feel me. It's Wednesday night. I guess I'm gonna say this one more time. I'm reading my script. It's Wednesday night, so it's a Wednesday night recap show on YouTube. So I'm live on YouTube every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. Not well. I plan to be every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock, but sometimes the schedule gets changed depending on if I have a guest or not. Halise is not here. I want to thank her for being here last week. That was great. It was a great episode. We were talking about, I think it was Saturday morning, I think it was. You can check it out. It's already posted many times everywhere. And we now have video live on Spotify. So if you want to watch videos on Spotify now, it is there. All right. So this is episode 9.62. That's episode 9. 62 days. If you know, you know. And if you want to know, you can just ask me. I'll tell you. And while I'm right here, please, if you would, like, subscribe, and share this podcast to anyone you think may need it. What exactly are you sharing? I don't know, but it's this podcast. It's a podcast where we try to talk about being as transparent as possible. We talk about the intersection of me, and that's addiction or soon to be recovery, and ethical non-monogamy, and basically just metaphysical living in the moment. Like last week, we were talking about living authentically. We're gonna continue that conversation as soon as I can get Halise to come back on. I really enjoyed that show, and I hope that you got a chance to listen to it, or at least listen to the clips. They're pretty good. We always have a good time when we talk. So this week, a couple of weeks ago, I started talking. Oh, I'm sorry. This show is being dedicated to the people that are being disappeared, the documented and undocumented immigrants who are being wrongly sent out of this country without due process. That is a constitutional right that everyone that's in America receives due process before they're just shipped out. No one is to be just shipped out of this country. It's in our constitution. Either we're going to be alive, we're either going to be a nation of laws or we're not. And I don't plan on living in a nation that's not of laws. So that's my stance on it. Basically, we need to get that straight. I mean, the chaos has been chaosing, and it's causing a lot of problems. It's definitely causing problems in my life due to the labor market being flooded with laid off people, and everyone's looking for a job again. It's like everything was great, and then it wasn't great. It was all good just a week ago, right? That's what Jay-Z said. So anyway, so like I said, this show is dedicated to the people that have been disappeared. Kimmy Abreu Garcia, the man from Maryland, who I definitely would like to see come home. And I don't understand anyone who thinks that people should be sent away to another country and locked up forever if the offense is only coming into the country illegally. That doesn't equate to be a life sentence in a country that's struggling with gang violence, and they're creating these prisons to hold people in, and that's where you're putting people from this country into Sudan and El Salvador. Who goes to Sudan or El Salvador for vacation? It's not a spot to go to, just to visit, let alone be in a prison in any of those countries. And Anybody that wants that to happen is not an American patriot. They're not American. I don't know what they are. Basically, at this point, what's going on in the government, I'm not sure what they are. Like I said, I respect the Constitution. I always have. I have, as usual, I'm black in this country. I have problems with the way it's set up, but based on my life and the experiences that I've had, I've enjoyed a lot of it. Maybe I've had some privilege because of my upbringing, my parents, but I've enjoyed this country, and I want my daughters to feel the same, and then their children the same, and not fear having their citizenship stripped. Now, my daughters are two young ladies, not having the fear of not being able to get the health care they need. Um, and and they're both Christians, and I hope they have the ability to worship or not worship the way that they choose to, since this is a free country, right? It's not a Christian country. I never was. I can go. I'm gonna talk about that more. I already talked about spirituality, and my views and my stances on that. So let's see the check in. The check in. Okay, so tell me about the check in. So yeah, I've been. I don't know. I'm having a hard time right now. Really, actually, I can't say everything is great with me. Physically, everything's okay. Mentally, it's a little dark. Because I'm looking, still searching for a job. Then I had a job. Like I said, I had a job due to the economy. My job disappeared. Contract ended, and so now I'm with all the people that have been laid off. I'm right there with them, trying to put things together. In a and I'm in IT. I'm in an industry that I never really had to take almost no any time off unless I took it off. And usually, if I did, I would get a job just like that, like that, just like that. And but right now, it's not going that way. And so I'm someone who's used to getting up in the morning, heading out, doing what I need to do. Even though I have suffered through my problems with addictions, I still will go out and get money. Period. So this is a new thing. I'm going back and forth. I got some ideas on how to get some money. I'm about to start going, not illegally, legally, nothing illegally. Of course, we're doing things on the right road because basically doing anything illegally can get me, will not help me get to my goal, right? My goal is to live a nomadic lifestyle, a nomadic lifestyle in a camper van. That is what I want to do. And it's interesting. I was talking about that. I was talking to Helise today about the future plans, and she was telling me about what about winter, and I'm like, I don't wasn't. I'm a camper, right? I may not look like one, but I used to camp. I was a Boy Scout, so I came up when I was younger, just camping, going out camping, summer camp, outside in the water in a kayak, crawling through mud, caving, all that quite crazy stuff. That's what I did in the summertime. So being outside is not a thing to me. I love the snow. So, you know what I mean? I don't want to retire. I could live without snow because basically we are. We don't really have the snow that we used to have, but I'm used to like some in the wintertime. I'm in the DMV. So I'm used to in the wintertime just being outside in the snow. You know what I'm saying? Going through the neighborhood. Um, why were we walking out in the snow in the dark? I don't know. We were going to each other's houses, I guess. We were looking for the weed. We was going to the house where we knew we could smoke weed. So, going outside, see somebody struggling to get their car out, and, me and my buddies, we young guys, we go out, we dig them out. You know what I'm saying? So that's just, I don't know, it's something I miss, being snowed in. Definitely had some, I guess 2011, 2010, 2012, somewhere around there, when I was married and living in Silver Spring, we definitely got snowed in. We got snowed in bad. It was so bad one time we lost electricity up in Silver Spring, and we had to come down here to Fort Washington to live because we been going a couple of days without electricity, and we had to dig the car out, and it was a risky trip. And they still had electricity down here, so we came down here. And it was a trip where you seeing cars stuck on the side of the road, but we had to get there because couldn't do another day without electricity. You know what I'm saying? I think, and it was funny. What was funny about it though is that we actually had electricity for like 2 hours. So we were up and we were cooking, and it was still snowing. Snow still on the ground. So we were up cooking, getting ready to sit down, me and her ex-wife, and chill and eat some food. Power went out, and that whole little time we were like, all right, we gonna be good. We gonna be good. Boom, power go out. We like, we just want to bed. We go to bed. So but now I got these power banks now. Like I've been studying how to build camper vans and do the conversions, and they basically will build out the electricity with the batteries, the inverters, and all that. Now we're moving on to the point where we got these power banks and with AC and DC, and inverters built in. That looks a lot easier, not cheaper, but a lot easier to either do. And I was studying all that, so I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to live in a camper van off grid, with the solar power, diesel heater, like everything you can have. It's a little different, as far as the bathroom goes. But I've been studying like tiny houses for a while. Tiny houses, schoolies, um, container homes, anything alternative off the grid. So I think at this point, I just want to get some land. I've been looking around, seeing if I can get some land somewhere that doesn't look. A lot of these places got like HOAs, and I don't want to be stuck having to do, because if I wanted to be completely off the grid and I'm really studying solar, and I know that you could put enough solar panels out to can be completely off the grid, and I know how to deal with the everything else with the water, all that kind of stuff. Um, then why can't I just pull up with my van and start building from there? Why do I have to have electrical hookup, water and all that stuff that HOAs make you have? But we'll see. We'll see. It's all in the works. And that's why I'm having a difficult time because I'm ready to go. At this point, I've been having to talk with like my friend this morning about. I'm still doing the check, yeah. Having based on where I'm at right now, would I be here right now if I hadn't stopped working? No. 62 days. Remember that 62 days. So I've already explained. I think I explained before my beliefs on being in recovery and all that kind of stuff. So basically, I think there's a 2190 rule. If you do something for 21 days, it becomes ingrained, and then you do it for 90 more days, it becomes a part of your life, a lifestyle change. So like, I've done that before, but I haven't done that completely, like I said, completely on my own and without, I've said this before. So if I'm going through recovery, and I'm going to recovery. I think recovery, especially in the beginning, has to be a very, very, very selfish endeavor, because you have to put yourself first. And then, of course, if you're married, boyfriend, family, job, all that stuff, they don't care about your 2190 rule. They want you back right now. So you've been gone for a while. Fuck your recovery. We need you back. So that's been an issue for a long time. And did a show last week on living authentically. And I think that living authentically would have, if I didn't really, that's not taught in school. None of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like self actualization, authentic living in the moment. That's not taught. That's not even in religion, actually, right? Uh, Everything that's taught in school, in church, and all that stuff is conformity. It's assimilation. It's conformity, basically. You need to conform. And I'm not a person that will conform, right? I'm not. I have a studio with a podcast. I'm doing it by myself. Nobody's here but me, and I'm talking in a mic. Because that's what I want to do. I don't even care if you don't like it or not. I'm still gonna do it, because that's what I need for my life. And it's like I didn't do that a lot in the past, right? I was stuck on being something to someone else. Not no one else's fault. It's on me. I did it. If I said I loved you, I did love you the best I could. That was at my level of consciousness at that time. You were everything to me. Um, Except for one person or two. They were everything to me. Always will be. So yeah, like I'm making that's what I'm saying. Like I'm making progress. I'm making progress, and I'm listening to my guy Sheen. What's his name again? I called him my new guru. I need something like that. Not my new guru, but he's a Shaolin master, Shaolin monk. I just like the way he talks. It's basically philosophies. Like I'll quote from the Bible a lot, and she caught me today. I'm like, I quote. She's like, I thought you didn't believe in that. I'm like, no, no, no. I believe in philosophy. I believe in like a good word. You know what I'm saying? Like if something makes sense to me, if you can ingrain that into your life, that's good, right? Now, the problem with most of the other book, no, I'm sorry. There's not a problem with the problem with the book is basically is regurgitated stuff. It doesn't make any sense. But there's stuff, there's phrases in there, there's philosophies in there, there's ways of living in there that's beneficial. And I'll be talking about creating your own religion. Um, don't it's not blasphemy. It's not blasphemy. Um, well, you would consider it blasphemy, but for me, it's common sense. You basically, because y'all doing it anyway. Nobody follows 100% what the Bible says. No way. No way. Not the people that call themselves Christians in the politics. No way. No way are you a Christian and you want to take away people's health care. I don't want to be political. But there's no way you do that. You would do that. That's not what Jesus would do. Could you see Jesus um, getting ready to do the Sermon on the Mount and would look at the people and say, you know what? I only want to give this bread to the people that really deserve it. If you don't deserve this bread, you don't get no bread. Like, okay, you ain't hungry? Go. You don't deserve this bread. Only these people getting the bread. That's not what they did. Everybody, the fishes and loaves, everybody ate that day, right? Yeah, I don't remember. Let me stop. All right. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm dealing with that, and just I'm getting on the grind. I'm finding I gotta get on the grind. I gotta figure this out, but I'm gonna do that. Definitely. So to be honest with you, what's really good is that I am better than I was last year at this time. Most definitely. I started this journey about this time last year, and when I first wanted to really make a change, I needed to stop working, and I started this thing like session. I didn't stop. I didn't stop working. I just changed jobs or changed opportunities, changed different ways to get money, and I just kept moving to the point where I just kept going until here's where I am. So I guess the universe is going to give me um, whatever I need to be successful from this point forward. And if I need to sit my ass down, thank God that I have the place to do it. And I need to keep doing what I'm doing and be committed to this process, whatever this process is. All right, so that's that. Um, so let's go ahead and get with the conversation tonight. Oh, I'm sorry, food for thought. So we're gonna go to another video from my guru, Xing Hing Yi. I found him on YouTube. He's very good, Shaolin Master. Here's a way of just talking directly. It's just I want to say it's common sense, but there's no such thing. Because it's like, of course you should not look at 5 screens all day. Of course you should take some time to be quiet. Of course, if things aren't working, you should just do things differently. Of course, you should just live in the moment. You know what I mean? Learn how to breathe properly. You know what I mean? Because all life is suffering. That's a Buddhist principle. All life is suffering, and basically, the suffering is desire. You know what I mean? Like who you are, you're not your thoughts. You are you. I'm me, right here, right now, right? But what I was just talking about. That would it make my life better? Oh, I don't know, right? Because I'm here right now and I'm okay. All right, so let's go look at the food for thought video for today. If I could find it. Oh, I need a engineer or a producer. What you want to do? Holla at me.
If you always take care of staying open, there is no limit in terms of how much and how much more are you able to develop yourself. The more limited, the more restricted, the more closed you are. The more you think you are perfect, the less you're gonna change.
Okay, and I left that on there because that's that we were talking about open relationships before. Last week we were talking about living authentically. The episode before that, I was talking about open relationships. And I can't remember what I said, but basically, open relationships it's the beginning. I think it's the beginning of going into ethical non-monogamy. Unless you guys have a real course, like a lot of people, they want to do polygamy for some reason. Polygyny, polyandry. And they want to do don't ask, don't tell for some reason. But the thing is, though, here's the thing. One thing people ask me about, or they ask a lot in the groups, is like, what's a turn on for you? What's a turn on for you? Being open minded. You know what I'm saying? I believe I could date anyone that's open minded, right? Because I'm ethically non monogamous. The pool is small, but I could date anyone that's open minded, who's not closed off. And basically, what's interesting to me is that I do believe that society, any empire, whatever in the past, gets to a point that they just self-destruct because of not being open-minded. You know what I mean? Like the things that I've seen. I'm 59. All right, so the things that I've seen since I was young to today are the same things. You know what I mean? Racism, poverty, war, the rich take it from the poor. Yeah, because it's income imbalance. That's been a constant. It hasn't changed. So, do you think it'll change? I don't know. No, it hasn't. I mean, what we're dealing with right now is the fact that like people are choosing camps, and most people don't even know what they're voting for right now. Most people don't actually know what's happening right now. You know what I'm saying, with the terrorists and all this stuff in politics? They don't know because all they know is what their buddy told them. It'd be great. You know, when I was young, I wanted to ride a motorcycle across the country, right? And at one point, for some reason, you know, due to my addiction and how I was living, it'd be certain points where I'm thinking I can't never do something because I'm this old or this is going on. I just lose all hope, get depressed, and can't do it, right? I wouldn't ride a motorcycle across the country right now by myself. It's too many states I wouldn't want to stop in. So I don't trust the country. I don't trust the people in the country enough to go there. We're all here. We're all citizens, but we're not all Americans. I don't know what the hell they are anymore. I don't know. You know, once you decide to vote for somebody who is a criminal, who's committing crimes on a daily basis, and decide that the Constitution is no longer valid, or you don't care about it anymore, you want to defy court orders, I don't know what you are. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you are. You're an enemy of the state to me. Period. Period. So have it that. And it's like, I don't know what's up with that. Okay. So yeah. So I think that we're stuck. We're at a point now. I think that every civilization gets to, like, it's just gonna implode, right? Because everyone's stuck in their different camps and won't stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, what they say, they say they want to be a national Christian nationalist or something like that. But it's filled with hate. You know what I'm saying? It's filled with hate and control, not freedom. And I don't understand, like, this whole thing, like, abortion has been an issue all my life. Like I said, racism has been an issue all my life. But how, if you want to be let me look at this right there, right? I got to do a little politics, sorry. So let me get this straight. You want to write, what are you, pro-life? Pro-life, right? Pro-life, but you don't want people to have health care. You don't want people to have good schools. You don't want people to have the same opportunity that everyone else has, but you're pro-life? Explain that to me. How does that work? You're pro-birth. You want birth, you want numbers. Numbers make sense to you. Control makes sense to you. But actually caring about people doesn't make sense to you. Explain it. I'll wait. So it's like, I think people, Joe Rogan did a good joke. Joe Rogan used to be funny as hell. He did a good joke about this a long time ago. And it wasn't a joke. I think he was doing a talk about how you get these ideas or these concepts in your mind, and you grab onto it, Christianity or whatever, and the people who are anti-abortion, they're just stuck on it to the point where it's impossible to move them. right? They're not thinking about what happens after the birth. What happens, you know what I'm saying? What happens after they go home. They don't care about all that. All they know is the little babies must be born, right? And after that, fuck them. I don't got time with that. You know what I'm saying? They should have paid attention in class. They should have been born in a better neighborhood. All this kind of stuff. So it's like that doesn't make any sense. It's not. When I say it's not sustainable, right? I don't think this is sustainable. The amount of money, and I think the same thing happened in Italy or Rome. Sorry, Rome. How Rome fell. Basically, the people at the top started taking too much resources. You know what I'm saying? They're taking too many resources. How many people? How many people need $100 million yacht? And why can these so many people afford these $100 million yachts? You know what I mean? Like, how much money is too much money? But I want to say something about this idea thing is basically we're to the point now where how the Supreme Court snuck in there and said they weren't going to do anything about abortion, then reversed the decision on abortion and let the states decide. They just overturned it and let the states decide. Then we get these weird, crazy laws, and now we're to the point where they want to do fetal, I guess, fetal life. I'm doing politics now, I guess. To do, I don't know, birth, the heartbeat. Once you get a heartbeat, the baby's the personhood, fetal personhood, something like that. So once that happens, the baby is alive, and it has to be. I hope I'm getting sound. I'm so nervous. Oh, last week I want to apologize about the sound. It was a bad problem. I was setting up the remote capabilities from OBS, streaming from Video Ninja. If you know anything about this, setting up the remote person through Video Ninja, bringing that feed into OBS, and for some reason I did my feed here through OBS 2 into Video Ninja through OBS, and basically I got an echo. So that's why I had double echo. I figured it out because I didn't. What happened was I at least decided she wanted to come on. I really wanted to come on. She did come on, but then I didn't take the time to actually figure out how to configure it correctly. I went through it once before, forgot everything, and tried to do it real quick, and just I think I heard the echo, but I didn't think it was a recording. So she wanted to record it again, and I said, nah, I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to do that because I've already done it like 2 times and had to do that twice before. I should have checked it, but what I did was we're gonna do another show, a follow-up show to that show. We can finish talking about living authentically because that's a good subject, I think. And I think after that we may do boundaries. I think that's the next step. So anyway, this whole thing about abortion, and I'm reading about the law, how we're stuck and not being open-minded, and you pass these laws, now thinking about unintended consequences. That seems to be a big deal with the Republicans and conservatives. They'll pass a law and not understand unintended consequences. Like this story here in Georgia, where this lady, this woman, is brain dead. And she was 9 weeks pregnant at the time that she was brain dead due to clots. She had clots in the brain. Her brain's dead. She's, probably take off life support. She'll die. But she was pregnant. So the hospital, Georgia is a state that abortion is outlawed. So the hospital's afraid to let her die. So basically, who's paying for this? I don't know. So she's 32 weeks now, pregnant. I think they're waiting until she gets 32 weeks pregnant. I think she's 21. Waiting for her to get to 32 weeks pregnant, so that when she does pass, I'm sorry. So they could try to take the baby out. They already said the baby may have water on the brain or fluid on the brain, so the baby may come out malformed or deformed. The family is a nightmare to them because they see their daughter there on machines, dead for all dead but still alive, and they can't say just turn the machines off, let her go peacefully, please. And we know the baby may be malformed. We understand that, and I think they said in this story, the Attorney General said if the Attorney General has determined that it wouldn't be breaking the law if you turn the machines off, but they're afraid to do it because you can't trust them. Right? They'll lock a woman up. If a woman falls down the stairs and she's pregnant, they might lock you up because you may have did that on purpose. They don't trust you. Right? You can't trust them to not do something dumb or do something maliciously convict you to scare other women. That's crazy, and that's what I'm saying. They're stuck in their mind. It's just like for some reason, other people's happiness. And I said this about other people. The white man. Our equality is their oppression. You know what I'm saying? The fact that they can't openly call us niggers is oppressing to them. That's oppression. They should be able to say whatever they want to say about anybody at any given time. And if that's curtailed, because we can say it. So they want to be able to say it too. But you do understand, white man, that the word was derogatory when you said it. When we say it, it's our word that we say, just like our brothers. What's up, my niggas? You know what I'm saying? And I remember the joke about it. That's my nigga, my nigga. Don't say it at all. It doesn't matter. It's not the intention behind it. Right? It's the intention. And when we say it, it's not with malice, it's with love. All right? It's a family thing. And for all you whatever's that had a problem with that word, my people, I don't care. I really don't care. Because you're not, you know what I'm saying? All scared folk, all scared folk ain't care folk. I see that more and more online. Do I use that word? Yeah, I do. Not all the time. I suppose, of course, right? I'm in corporate. You know what? When I'm in corporate, I don't think I sound like this at all. I think I sound completely different. I do know I'm feeling a lot. I'm at ease on the mic now. I'm pretty relaxed. I'm not elevated. Okay. I'm not sure when I'll do the next show because I think Elise wants to come on, so maybe Saturday. I think. I don't know. We'll see. It's interesting. I'll tell you about that later. So anyway, this lady. Anyway, because of what happened and because we're stuck, those people are stuck in their beliefs. This is what happens. Things like this, like people are being kept alive. It happened before too. Someone else was kept alive when they were brain dead. Because they can't. They want to murder. They think it's murder if you take off the machine. There's no coming back. So here's where we are. And who's going to pay for it? I really want to know who's paying for it. Because basically, if I decide, if I'm brain dead, or if my spouse, whoever that may be, if there be another one, was brain dead, would I think that she should stay alive? Right? And then if they tell me they got to keep her alive for whatever reason, I'm saying, it's okay, y'all pay for it. I'm done. I'm done. As far as I'm concerned, y'all pull that plug. Give me the plug, I'll pull it. I ain't going to jail, though. That's another thing. So are they going to bill me? Are they going to bill her for that? They bill the family for that? I know it's not cheap. Keeping someone alive, I'm sure the body still has to go through whatever it has to go through. It has to be cared for. So who's paying for it? Is the state paying for it? I don't know. It's a good question. But that's what happens. You're stuck. You're stuck in a book. You're stuck in a time that's gone past. Time changes. People got to change too. And what is bad about that? What is bad about being open-minded? What is bad about being open-minded? And I'm saying what I'm driving at, what I'm getting to is the fact that the conversation, like, will open relationships ever be normalized? That's what the conversation is about. Well, we talked about what open relationships were, right? We talked about ethically non-monogamy. We talked about open relationships, and we already know there's a high level of infidelity among everyone in this country. Cheating is like a sport, I guess. Every podcast has to deal with someone cheating. Every call-in deal with somebody cheating or somebody not wanting to be in relationships, and people just get stuck. And I was stuck for a long time. To be honest with you, I was stuck for a long time. That's why I talk about what I'm talking about. So, because maybe someone else is, where I was, and don't stay. Don't stay. Don't stay. Don't be unhappy, man. It's not gonna help you. In the end, because in the end, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. That's one thing I learned. You just don't want to go through. You just don't want to go through the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go through what you're gonna go through. But you're gonna go through it. Once you start a relationship, like relationships are easy to get in and hard to get out. Yeah, once you get in a relationship, you're in it, right? And very few times do people actually come to the conclusion that this relationship should be over. I gotta go. Very few times. I think, yeah, my ex-wife told me it was like, it was like, it was rough. I just sat there and I'm like, okay, I knew this was coming. I know I didn't. I can't say I knew this was coming. Okay, that's not true. But I had to accept that it was here. You know what I'm saying? Because she had to go. If she wasn't happy, if she wasn't at peace, I was trying to get to peace. And it's funny that, like I said before, what happened is I just stopped everything. I just stopped. And I was already in therapy and stuff like that. But it just the last thing I did just was a bridge too far. You know what I'm saying? And I understood that she had to go. And it was hurtful, but I understood. So it wasn't any drama. It's just a matter of, okay, now I gotta get me an apartment, you gotta get you an apartment, we gotta separate, all this kind of stuff. Luckily we both, had what we both came in with, and then purchased, anything joint, and we're okay. It was easy to separate. It's just a divorce when you have kids. I already went through that with my first wife, so it was like, okay, I got it. We good. But that was her, what I'm saying, understanding, and me understanding also, because there was no drama for us. Because basically, when I'm gonna tell you how much there was no drama, right? I think we were like, I don't know, maybe 4 months before the end of our lease, and we lived together to the end of the lease. We lived together to the end of the lease. We were already open, so I was already doing my shenanigans still. And really, I moved into the other bedroom. She went in the bedroom. We just kept living our lives. Never had a problem. Never had a problem. Not at all. You know what I'm saying? And separate without an issue. Now, what did it take for us to get there? We were open. Our relationship was open. And the reason I keep saying that is because open relationships will never be normalized, because people are stuck in their ideas. You know what I'm saying? People are stuck that monogamy is the default. Monogamy is the gold. You think that most people think they're gonna get jealous. They think that love is a scarce. Love is scarce. I only can be loved by one person at a time. I can't be loved by more. I can't love more than one person at a time, right? So when you get into a relationship, you're stuck in it, regardless of whatever issue you gotta deal with. Every issue cannot be overcome with prayer. I know. I tried. It doesn't work. So it's like I'm gonna play a video. All right, I'm gonna play a video about some people talking about open relationships. Okay, and why I think that being open minded is gold for me. And then I think that if we could get a lot more people to just come out of the thought, like the whole thing with the conservative and Republicans right now, the whole trans issue. How many trans people do you see on a daily basis? Ask yourself this. Ask yourself this. How many times do you hear about trans in the news? Ask yourself this. How many times? The only time I really hear about trans issues is when a conservative person brings it up. In my daily life, hardly ever have I seen a trans person, or it comes up with conversation. It comes up on podcasts, because Joe Rogan had a big issue with a trans athlete that went into MMA, switched over from transitioning to be a trans woman, and then decided to continue the fights, and was knocking women out, knocking cisgender women out. You know what I'm saying? There is something to say about the body, the structure of our bodies and things like that, and it is a difference. So I think that if if trans athletes do want to compete, we have to look at classifications. It can't be straight on gender, based on, if you're transitioned from a man and you're not on estrogen, your body is going to be a lot thicker, and your muscles are going to be bigger. Because I know some women that whoop my ass. That's a given. That's a given. And you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's about body. It's about body. I think it's about body muscle, and fat and things like that. So lean muscle, I don't know. Better people than me can explain it. But I don't think it's correct or sound good science to do it, to just say that, yeah, everybody that transitions is the same. Trans and cis are just the same at any given time. No, that's not true. That's not true. There's a transition period. There's some things that need to change. Like you can't. It's just like, that's not fair. I'm gonna leave it right there. You can be mad at me all you want. So what I'm saying is just these conversations, like me talking to you right now, right? I'm not saying that every transgender woman should be have in every sport. You know what I'm saying? Like today, I'm a transition, or they're gonna transition today and be trans woman tomorrow, and then want to go in the boxing ring and knock out women. Nah, man, that's not right. That's not right. George Foreman. What if Mike Tyson decided to transition right now? Could he go in one? Because basically that'd be a good role for him, right? If he could transition right now, as old as he is right now, he probably could go in there and start whooping women's ass. You know what I'm saying? Some cisgender women's ass. But he'd be a trans woman. Is that fair? Is that fair? Could you see Mike Tyson, his name would be Michelle Tyson, up against Clarissa? Who would win? You say, right, exactly. So the reason that I'm saying this is because the stuff that we see on a daily basis seems to be accepted. You know what I mean? I don't accept craziness in my life. You know what I'm saying? If I see something now, more so now than before, something needs to change. And I think I was talking to Lisa. She said, like, you seem like you don't take anything at work or anything. No, I don't. I can't be quiet. I can't be quiet. I have been into some tight situations at my job. I had to speak up, and I'm gonna speak up because I can't be quiet. I'm not gonna live under craziness. All right, so I'm gonna play this video on open relationships. Then I'm gonna talk about open relationships and where I see them going, and I'm gonna talk about some public scandals we got going on right now, and why I think they keep happening and will always keep happening. Video.
We came to each other with this idea of expanding our relationship and wanting to try new things, but there wasn't, I've been, lusting after this one person, and this is kind of an excuse to go and seek them out. So I'm glad neither of us had that, because I think it would have caused a lot more problems, and it would have been harder to kind of navigate with that as the first event.
Well, there was that comedian.
People don't like it.
He wasn't. I mean, if we want to really,
okay.
Backtrack, he wasn't the first.
The writer.
Before that.
There's so many different
I'm gonna stop the video
things that different people bring to the table.
I'm stopping the video. The reason I'm stopping the video right now is because I want to say something about interracial relationships, or there is a big thing about most of the groups that I'm in are called the black and poly black and dating. There is a separation. Black and poly or black and poly, they do not restrict. You can be a white person. They restrict races to come into their groups. Blackness is just censored, right? So, but there are some people who have a problem with them being in the group. You know what I'm saying? Unless some people are grandfathered in. Some people are grandfathered in because they've been around. We know who they are. They're cool. But then just any off the street white person getting in somebody's group, no, they're not. And then some people will quit the group. And I'm gonna tell you this too. If I go into most white groups, I leave because it's like they talk about cats and pets. I don't know about pets and cats. I don't care about that shit. But they seem to have a big thing about the cats and the pets. I don't know. It gets weird. But anyway, I'm saying that there's what the principles they're talking about are just have anything to do with race. I respect them as much as I respect anybody living an open, ethically non-monogamous life.
And a lot of people say that, oh, you're just playing the field. You'll be old and lonely because you want too much. You have to settle. You have to compromise. And that never felt right to me. I never understood why I'd have to give up some important need or desire of mine just because everyone expected me to.
I didn't want to possess anyone, and I didn't want anyone to have to possess me. And I feel like Angel's so amazing. I want him to share his heart with other people. I want to share my heart with other people. And I think that we can still have our relationship.
To me, it's freedom. Freedom, and still being able to have a foundation of a partner, is wonderful. So you can have your cake and eat it too, as long as your communication is always above board, always honest with your partner, always respecting the connection and friendship that you have. To me, I wish I'd learned it when I was younger, because that level of honesty translates into so many other different departments of my life now. Like, wow, I'm not afraid to tell the truth now.
So right there, right, that level of honesty, that level of transmission, like everything I'm talking about right now, I wouldn't have been able to talk about it before. But the crash course I got in living and communicating, being in an ethically non-monogamous community is directly responsible for that. I had too many relationships. He's been pointing it out to me. We were friends for a long time. My trust partner was from a group we were in before. We were trust partners, basically a person of the opposite sex that you can basically open up to, but it wasn't sexual. It was just like we were able to communicate with each other at a certain level, and we've been friends for a long time. Just friends. It's been rocky at times, of course. She did curve me though. So I guess I'm a simp. Hold on, here we go.
Be honest. I don't have to keep anything for fear of hurting someone or trying to get over.
My major experience with polyamory was as like a day husband to a married couple that had 2 daughters, and that was my first experience with an open relationship and letting go of a lot of traditional things, insecurities mostly within myself, and also understanding a different dynamic of feminine sexuality.
We've always been told that there's this one way of being with someone, and if you detract from it, it's not right societally. But if it's right instinctually.
The risks of being in a polyamorous relationship, the obvious that most people think of when they think of open relationships is the sexual risk that you take and, STDs, those things, which comes down to communication again. How I would tell Angel about that, and really for me it's been, how do I make sure that Angel knows how much I love him no matter what, even though there's another person in my life who I'm excited about.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about compersion.
Compersion means excitement or happiness in the excitement or happiness of someone you care about in a poly context. Compersion is when she tells me that she had a great date and she's all excited. I'm not jealous, I'm happy for her. Compersion is sometimes called the anti-jealousy.
It's not. It is called that.
I have met amours that she gets along with great. I have met amours that she is dating, so then it becomes a triad. There's people in my life that she doesn't get along with, and that's normal. Like, polyamory is not an instant solution for every problem, and it's not for everybody.
Is polyamory
Caleb met a woman from the internet, and everything seemed cool. She was new to poly, and they really hit it off. And I was a little jealous for sure, and I had to reassure myself. Reminding myself of NRE and trying to, feel happy for Caleb. And I remember telling him about my concerns and, just kind of wanting to take a step back maybe and maybe try to get to know her more, because that would allow me to be less jealous. And so Caleb, brought up the idea of having dinner, the three of us all together.
There's actually a movie called Compersion. It's not, I'm sorry, it's a short series, YouTube series, that was done. I can't remember her name, but it's on YouTube. It's called Compersion. It's about polyamory. It's a little messy, but it's a good example of how a lot of people end up or start polyamory. The wife suggested polyamory. The husband said, hell no. Then he cheated. Then she said, I'm going to do what I want to do now. But it's just like how it starts, and it's called Compersion. Fortunately, she was trying to get it funded. We all contributed. I contributed to the funding to get the second season done. But I think that's just it. I wish it would have got picked up. I think it's a good story, and if it get picked up on like Amazon or Netflix, it was a good show. It's a good show. And I think there's somebody else trying to do another show about unicorns. I'm gonna start pumping that up to try to get some support to those, because that unicorn one I'm definitely interested in. A unicorn single by Babe. We talked about it before. I'm gonna start the video now.
And he told me her response, and I was so hurt by it, because she said that it would repulse her to have dinner with the three of us.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, because you want to hope that people will come around and not be repulsed by your relationship with your primary partner, but it doesn't always happen that way.
I have a problem with that.
I suppose the difference between polyamory and something like swinging is that polyamory is more about being open to new romantic relationships and emotions, scary emotions.
And we're not trying to convert anyone.
No, we don't.
We just want people to respect what we have.
Exactly. Remember, this show is about, tonight's episode is about, will open relationships ever be normalized? My answer is no. My answer is no. We can't even come together on abortion. We can't come to, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't even deal with that. You think abortion is supposed to be, I guess, the babies are born, not born, that's a higher concern than people living in relationships? I don't think so, myself. I think it's important. I think it's important that we allow people to be happy, and that's the problem that I have with everything that's going on. So it's like right now, like I said, my family, nobody talks about this with me. I post stuff on my YouTube, on my Facebook page. They all see it. Nobody asked me about anything about it. I don't care to. They don't ask me anything about it. But I'm just saying that's how unnormalized that it is. That I know specific family members that may be going through, tough times with family and stuff like that, and dealing with cheating, all that kind of stuff like that. But then that's normal. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with cheating, dealing with being unhappy is normal. That's normal. Divorce is normal. Cheating is normal. We have I don't know how much money you think the divorce industry is. That's normal, right? People can't find mates. That's normal. And that's another thing that Kevin Samuels was driving at. All the women, they would come on and they say what they wanted a high value man. That's like 1%, 10% of the men that they're wanting, and it's like 80% of women want those men. Like, how is that going to be possible? It's not. It's not possible. The numbers don't work out. And right now, it's even worse. Right now, with a lot of young men or men not going to college. I went to college and didn't graduate. But even going to college, not going to college, and the whole this YN culture, this drill culture is just taking dudes out, and women are just not waiting for nobody, and they shouldn't. They shouldn't wait. You know what I'm saying? Me myself, I went with my wife to Jamaica twice. Would I have gone to Jamaica without her? I mean, you know what I'm saying? When we were married, we went for a honeymoon again. And then we traveled together to, other local places. We used to be on the East Coast, take a weekend and go here or there. But would I have traveled to Jamaica? I mean, I did travel around the world because for a job. I've had a passport, traveled around the world, been in like more countries than most, because of work, because of my career. But on leisure, I don't think I would have did it. I don't think I would have did it. So I picked the right one. To be honest with you, if she picked the right one, picked the wrong one. I don't know. We divorced. So the things that they were talking about in that video, to me just seemed so sweet and innocent, but in our society, this is still stigmatized to this day, right? Divorce is normal, cheating is normal, being separated is normal, going to people's phone is normal. Now, when I say that something like this, nobody ever goes to my phone, you don't have a reason to, because I'm gonna tell you everything I'm doing. Just ask me. Yeah, I was over here. You could have came most of the time. I would say that. So yeah, the stigma is gonna keep it away. Just people in their religious beliefs are gonna not let it happen. And just longing. I mean, it's just like just selfishness is gonna let it not happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was just thinking about the amount of scandals we had in the news right now today. Shannon Sharp, Papoose Remy, Clarissa, Diddy, that whole thing. I want to say Neo and his whole poly, because he keeps popping up everywhere talking about polyamory, and I'm like, it's not polyamory, bro. It's not polyamory if women not talking too. It's just not. And plus, it's 2-time, divorced both wives. It seems to be a sex addiction. I don't know, and involved too. And I'm sure we can name more, like Imani Tina Taylor. These big high profile people dealing with this stuff, but still sticking to. But we're still sticking to the only thing we think we know is right, and that's monogamy, and it's all over. I don't know what we had in Africa. I don't know if we had monogamy. All I know is Christianity's big over there. They don't like gay people over there, so it's been westernized. I don't know our old traditions. I don't know if did we get married? I wish somebody. I wish I could bring someone here. But you know what? I do know somebody. I wish I could bring somebody on here to talk about that. Somebody I want to talk to too. Oh, yeah. So yeah, I want to just think about it. Like all these scandals that we see today, and everything that happens, but we still want to cling to monogamy as if that's the only thing that could work. But we see it's not working most of the time. I always say the analogy or the joke or the analogy. I think it's an analogy that if 1 out of 2, because it's like 50%, 60% divorce rate. I think it's going down because the marriage rate going down. If 1 out of every 2 planes crashed, would you fly? If it's guaranteed that 1 out of every 2 planes crashed, would you fly? I'm gonna analogy start with planes too. That's how I got into Christianity. I told that story. So yeah, if that happened, you wouldn't fly. Right? You wouldn't fly because it's 50-50. It's like marriage, 50-50. You don't know. But my parents stayed married. Bless them. And most of I was going to say most of the aunts and uncles stayed married, but no, that's not true. But they didn't give up on love, though. Don't give up on love. I mean, is marriage the top pinnacle? Is that marriage love? I just say we don't do monogamy, we do serial monogamy. But I wish that it would. You know what I'm saying? The stigma is hard to get over. It's really, really hard. You gotta work through that. Like I had to work through mine. I'm glad I did, and I don't have any regrets. Really, honestly with you. I have no regrets because basically, right now every day for me right now it's not a fight for life. I'm gonna live, but I know that I don't think I would have been here had I not had the tools or been given the tools that I had to develop being in a non-monogamous community, being in a monogamous community, and I wish I could really. I had to leave the community basically because of I left because I was fucking addict. So and I wish I could. And I'm back in it a little bit. I don't have all the friends that I had before. I regret that. I don't know how to overcome that. I don't know if that really matters. Because a lot of people, I disappeared on a lot of people. A lot of people who wanted to really hang out, you know, and I wasn't there at that time. So, you know, like I said, I'm still a part of the community. I know, you know what? That's not. I'm gonna say something. Shit. I'm gonna say something. I know I can get back. I know me, right? And I know if I put my mind to something, I could do it. Mother told me I could do anything I want to do, put my mind to it. She ain't never lied. Because I will do whatever I decide to do. I usually will get it done. I just got to make sure that it's something that I really want to do. If it's something I really want to do, I'm going to do it. Basically. So if I ain't doing it, I don't want to do it. That's all I got to say about that. No, I do not think open relationships will ever be normalized. I don't know how long this country has to last, so this might even be a conversation. We might be living in caves like soon. Trying to going back to hunter gatherer because if this shit sinks, I don't know what's gonna happen. So I wish that it would, but I think that you still have to be. If you want to do this, you have to be brave. You have to be brave. You have to study. Make sure you do research to make sure that you can craft the relationship that you want. Make sure that you know what you want and you're ready for. You're ready for emotions that you're not gonna know that it's gonna come out. You don't know what's gonna happen or what's gonna come to the front or the forefront of your to your mind until you actually do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I didn't like the things that I was feeling when my partner first went out, and it wasn't even for a real date. It was like just going out with her previous boyfriend. It was like, oh shit. It wasn't like bad. I wasn't upset or anything. I think for me it was just fear. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't get a straight answer to what actually happened and why they weren't together. I think he had his. Yeah, you know what it was? What it was with me? I was suffering from low self-esteem and insecurity. Because he had his shit a little bit together more than me. And and I know what she wanted to be. So I was like, oh, he can get her back. I met him though, as a matter of fact. I remember. You know what? I did meet him. I met him and his new girlfriend. I don't know if it was a girlfriend or a swinging partner because we were talking about maybe hook it up. It was that's how crazy my life is. Yeah, so you know, I wish it would be normalized, but it's not gonna be. We're gonna still keep seeing the same old bullshit, same old stuff happen. We're gonna still be saying the same old jokes. Let me see your phone. You know, people still be getting caught the same way. I guess with Apple Watches and messages coming up on the. I can't cheat. Is that true? That ain't true. You know what? I did cheat one time. I did get caught. No, I didn't. I didn't get caught. I got I had a hotel receipt in my bag. This was back in my EY days, Ernest Young day, and I had a COVID card. So like the DoubleTree, whatever, it was in Texas Corner. Was over there. I don't know what happened or why we ended up there. But I ended up there with a room. That's what happened. And I had the receipt in my bag. And you know, I told a lie. The lie was, you know, I just need some time. So I just needed a place to go. So I wouldn't just check into a room, a $200 a night room. And we would be having like that at the time. Yeah, I don't know if you have it like that. Yeah, it was all right. The 200 night room, you know what I'm saying? And I just stayed there and didn't even and let it go. And I was deep into it. Was I deep into an affair? I was. Cause actually, yeah, the woman was. That's when I left Ernest and Young and went to. That's when I went to the job and I started traveling around the world. And I think the other woman thought, we were on the rocks, already, but the other woman thought that I was gonna just leave and stay with her. And I'm like, I just had a baby. That's a bad thing I just said, right? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave it right there because I'm getting crazy. I'm punch drunk. I'm tired. I'm stressed, and I'm saying anything. I hope you got something out of that. Basically, it's not gonna be normalized. You're still gonna see the scandals we normally see, as if people still are gonna be upset, as if we don't see the same thing happen every day. There is solutions to the thing, being open-minded, thinking outside the box, those type of things. But you still can do it. You don't have to be stuck in a life that is not making you happy. I'm sorry. Happiness is not that you don't have peace. Peace is more important than happiness. It's in the Bible. Seek peace, pursue it, and that's important. Like I didn't want to come here and do this podcast. Like I had a rough day. I didn't get accomplished what I wanted to get accomplished. I'm chasing money, of course, and I got to reschedule. Blah blah blah. It was a miserable, cold day out there, and I didn't think I would come here and want to do this, but I feel much better that I did. I'm committed to this, and I'm going to keep doing it. It's about the commitment. The commitment. You come back to the commitment. Commit to something and keep doing it. That's what's important. All right? So I'm going to leave it there. I like this episode. I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. So I'm going to let it go with that, and I hope I'm going to press the right button, and then I'm leaving this place.
All right, people, we out. Choose love every time.
Every time.
And things will work out. All right? Peace.
Peace. Love you.